Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about a feeling that, well, I think a lot of us crave, but often feel kind of guilty about. And that's the simple, powerful act of being cozy. We're going to look at the actual science that proves this isn't some kind of luxury. It's your body's non-negotiable biological need to recover. So, let me just ask you, really think about it. When was the last time you felt genuinely at ease? Not just not working, but truly unhurried, not feeling watched, just safe. If it feels like a long, long time ago, you are definitely not alone. And there's a really good reason your mind and body are searching for that feeling. Okay, let's dive right into this, because this right here, this is the core idea of our entire explainer today. That pull you feel towards a quiet corner, a warm drink, or just 5 minutes of silence, that's not a character flaw. It's not laziness, it's a signal. Your brain is trying to tell you something absolutely crucial about what it needs to heal. So what even is cozy, really? It's so much more than just a nice aesthetic for social media. It's a collection of cues from your environment that your brain interprets in a very specific and very, very important way. I mean, think about what makes a space feel cozy. It's almost always stuff like this: soft light instead of harsh fluorescence, right? The actual physical sensation of warmth, quietness, and a space where you don't have to be on. Every single one of these is a direct signal to your nervous system that says, hey, you can stand down. The threat is gone. You are safe here. And that brings us to the biology behind that feeling. See, this isn't just about your mood. It's about your body's fundamental operating system and its constant instinctual search for safety. Okay, so what's so interesting here is how this lays out the two states we basically toggle between all day long. So much of modern life keeps us stuck in threat mode. We're constantly alert, checking notifications, thinking, what's next? Cozy environments are a direct invitation, a doorway to shift into safety mode. They activate what's called the parasympathetic nervous system, which finally lets your body rest, digest, and rebalance. So the most important point is this: if you're feeling burned out and all you want to do is curl up under a blanket, that isn't you failing. That's your biology working perfectly. It's sending you a crystal clear signal that it's time to shift modes and recover. But here's the thing: this kind of rest does more than just calm us down. It actually rebuilds a resource that's totally finite, a resource we burn through every single day, our ability to focus. And there's a concept from psychology that explains this perfectly. It's called attention restoration theory, and it basically says that your focus isn't infinite. You use it up on hard tasks, and to get it back, you can't just try harder. You actually need a specific kind of environment. And it really comes down to these two key ingredients. First, you need to be away. You need a mental break from the pressure to perform. And second, you need something called soft fascination. This right here is the magic ingredient you find in those cozy moments. Soft fascination is all about things that gently hold your attention without demanding anything from it. It's the polar opposite of a blinking notification or an urgent email. Staring at a flickering candle or watching clouds move, that allows your brain's focused attention systems to just rest and recharge. You're not doing nothing, you're actually restoring your focus. You know, this whole idea of intentional restorative rest isn't just some modern psychological theory. Some cultures have built it right into their values. And a perfect example of this is the Dutch concept of Niksen. Niksen is the purposeful act of doing nothing, not scrolling your phone, not planning your week in your head, just being. It's about letting your mind wander without any agenda at all. In a culture that is obsessed with productivity, this is a truly radical idea. And let's be real, if you've ever tried this, you know it's true. The moment you decide to do absolutely nothing, your brain just floods with to-do lists and worries and that nagging feeling that you should be doing something useful. And this is exactly why it's so hard. Our brains has literally been conditioned to see any non-productive moment as a waste of time. We feel guilty for being idle because we've been taught that our value comes from our output. But here's the secret. When you finally stop pushing and just allow your mind to wander, you activate something called the default mode network. This is where you connect different ideas, have those sudden aha moments, and do your most creative, long-term thinking. That wasted time is actually when some of your best work gets done, just under the surface. So, okay, how do we actually put this into practice? The goal isn't some massive life overhaul. It's about finding small, gentle ways to signal to your nervous system that it's allowed to rest. Here are 4 small, totally achievable experiments. You could just try a 5-minute break looking out a window, or create one little corner of your home that is a dedicated off-duty zone. Plan one low-pressure evening a week, or just use that transition time after work for a few minutes of quiet, with no podcasts, no notifications.
And let's be crystal clear, the point of these is not to make you more productive. These are not life hacks. They are small acts of compassion for yourself. They're a way to acknowledge your human need for rest in a world that often treats us like we're machines.
If you take just one thing away from our time together, please let it be this. Especially if you're feeling burned out. That deep desire for quiet, for warmth, for a safe and simple space, that is your body's wisdom. It is telling you exactly what it needs to heal.
So the ultimate shift in perspective is this. Stop seeing these moments of rest as an escape from your life. They're not. They are what allow you to fully show up for your life. True sustainability isn't about pushing harder. It's about learning how to genuinely, deeply recover. So I'll just leave you with this thought. It doesn't have to be some big gesture. What's just one small, gentle thing you can do today to give your brain and your nervous system the safety and the rest it's so clearly asking for?